I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Right now, I am in the middle of creating a brand new program. This is something that I've been dreaming about offering to all of you for at least a year, maybe more, and it feels so much like a full circle moment for me in my business to be creating this and getting ready to put it out into the world. I also think this is going to change the game for moms who want to make money with their online businesses. And I think now is the perfect time to do that. And I am so excited to help every mom who wants to do that, do it with this new program. I'm pouring all of my knowledge into this. I'm giving every single thing that could possibly be needed to help every mom make what she wants to make with her business online. And I've been thinking about how with my one-on-one clients, the lessons and the wisdom that they get from me comes when it's relevant to what they bring up in our sessions. But with this program, it's all going to be on demand. I've thought of all the things that I teach. Nothing is left out. And not only that, but you're going to get me helping you with your business personally too. Not just weekly, but daily. I cannot wait to share this program with you, and it's going to be available very soon. If you're listening to this podcast on the day that it comes out, the program's going to be open for enrollment exactly 1 week from today. Check in the show notes for the link to that live training that's going to be 1 week from now. And on that training, I'm going to be breaking down my 3 must-haves to build a successful business while handling the very real challenges that come with being a mom, especially right now. So that training is going to be amazing for you. And if you want to know more about my program, at the end of the training, you're going to hear all about that. So don't miss either of those 2 things. Let's get into today's topic. I am seeing 3 very interesting trends among entrepreneurs when it comes to setting goals, and I want to talk about that today. First, there's the people who don't set goals at all. So maybe they've set them in the past and they didn't achieve them, so they stopped setting goals altogether. The next group of people do set goals, but they set really small goals that are based on what they've done in the past. It's either keep it the same, do a little bit more, or do less than what you did in the past. You kind of think, I've done this before, so maybe I can do it again. The third group of people set a big goal and then they promptly forget it. They don't stay engaged with the goal at all. And when I ask them 2 weeks later or a month later about their goal, they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. And sometimes they even have to look up exactly what they wrote down before. So you know there was never any real engagement or commitment with that goal. The problem with all of these is how much power is being given to the goal itself and not being given to the goal setter. When we have a weird relationship with goals, it's because we don't feel powerful to reach those goals. We either think that setting the goal is the only thing that we have control over, or that the magic is in just setting the goal and hoping that it's going to happen. Setting the goal actually doesn't really matter. What happens after is everything. The purpose of your goal is to get you to think, feel, and act differently than you would have otherwise. It brings awareness to your default thought patterns, and it brings awareness to what you're not doing yet that you need to do to reach your goal. Today, I want to introduce you to a concept that I use to help myself and my clients shift how they think about and approach their goals. Having a weird relationship with a big goal comes from thinking you can't achieve it. You fixate on not achieving it, and you always create the results of not achieving it when that's what you're focused on. This concept allows you to totally bypass your doubts and experience what it looks like and feels like to be all in on belief in achieving your goal. I call this concept the time traveler, and it goes like this. If a time traveler came back from January 2022 to tell you that you definitely made $100,000 in your business in 2021, what would you be doing differently? I want you to sit with that question. And if you've already hit 6 figures, I want you to put your next level goal in this question. It doesn't matter the numbers, it doesn't matter the dates. I really want you to think about what your answer would be. And here's some things that I know would be different for my clients because I've used this exercise and concept on them a lot. And same with myself. I think you would invest more money more often. You would invest sooner in your business, and you'd be willing to keep investing. Investment always makes sense when you know that it will pay off. And when you invested, you would be focused on getting a return. You would come to your investments with this thought: what part of this investment is the piece that propels me to my 100K business? You would be looking for it. You would be intentional about it. You would be really focused, not just on making the investments and hoping for the best, but making the investments and looking for what parts of that are going to make the difference for you. You would be consistently taking big, brave, bold action and being willing to fail at it. The fear of failure wouldn't hold you back at all. You wouldn't take breaks, you wouldn't hold back, and you wouldn't quit partway through a launch or a plan, losing steam and failing ahead of time. And something that I want to say about the taking breaks, just in case you're like, wait, what? I'm thinking about like back when I was new to my business and I would get frustrated that things didn't work, and then I would like take a month off from my business. I know a lot of you do that same thing. That's what I mean. Obviously, I'm not talking about working around the clock and neglecting yourself and your family. I'm talking about during your dedicated work time, you are all in, being big, brave, and bold. You'd be willing to go all in and fail on an epic level because you would know that any failure was meant to be a part of the process. You would never think that failure was a sign it wasn't going to work because you already know it works 100%. So you would always know each failure is meant to be there. You'd bring way more value into the world, building a loyal fan base that started seeing you as the go-to person for what you do. You'd be willing to rock the boat with what you put out there. You would be risky. You would share those opinions you have that you've been afraid to say out loud. You would be okay pissing some people off because you would know that the people who are meant to be your clients would not be scared away, and possibly they might even love you more for it. You would make way more offers. You wouldn't worry about being salesy, pushy, or weird. You would know that your clients are coming, and you would feel less attached when you made each offer. You would not need each individual offer to turn into a yes because you would just know lots of yeses are coming either from this offer or another one or another one. You would have lots of ideas and take action on all of them from a place of fun and enjoyment. You would take your business more seriously, making decisions from the very beginning of the business, assuming that it will work out, not waiting to pick a payment processor or create a client agreement until you got a yes, but having it all ready, knowing that clients are coming and that you're going to need to have those things ready. You would prioritize the business more with your time. Maybe that looks like getting more childcare, or maybe having set working hours instead of working with you when you feel like it, and probably both, right? You'll probably both get some additional childcare and have set working hours and follow through on them. It's kind of like this. If you had a job that paid you a set salary, you would create time to do that job and be focused on that job. You would secure childcare when you really needed to focus on work. It's amazing that with our businesses, we don't necessarily need full-time work days or full-time childcare, but some focused working time is needed. And you would do whatever it took to make sure that could happen. If you knew that you were going to make 100K next year, you would figure out how to create that focused time. This is just logic. If our business is never going to amount to anything, why would we create any focused time for it? Why would we have childcare? Why would we sacrifice anything for something that isn't going to work out? The lack of prioritizing the business in your calendar reveals the true level of belief you have in what you're creating. You'd also tell more people about it if you knew that it was going to be successful for sure. You would talk about your business with more confidence and pride, and you'd never diminish it or be ashamed or be thinking that it wasn't legit. You wouldn't be telling people about your day job when they asked you what you do. And you wouldn't be telling them that you're a stay-at-home mom if they ask you what you do. No more talking about your business like it's a side gig or just this little thing that you're trying. If you were 100% going to make 100K next year, you would own it powerfully. Ultimately, you would just feel better. All the time spent in doubts and fears would instead be focused on knowing and certainty. Think about all the time you spend thinking, what if this doesn't work? What if this will never work for me? And spiraling out in fear, shame, panic, and desperation. Can you imagine how you would feel if every day, all day, you were thinking, clients are coming, I'm building my 6-figure business right now? Really let yourself feel those thoughts right now in this current moment. Let yourself feel it blooming inside of you. What would it be like to build your business from this feeling all the time? Think about how much time and energy would be saved that is currently going to fear, doubt, and compare and despair cycles. What would you do instead with all of that time? You'd be able to experience patience, gratitude, and enjoying the journey so much more. We're often in a rush with our goals because we don't believe that they will really happen for us. And from our place of disbelief, we try to make them happen faster. This never works. I had this experience in my business once when I was promoting a webinar training. I had a goal for how many registrations I wanted to get, and I was about a third of the way there, and I started feeling really stressed and frustrated about it. And what I realized in that moment was that I forgot the miracle of the people who registered. I forgot to have gratitude for each individual human, and I forgot to enjoy the journey. This noticing and realization allowed me to feel differently instantly. I instantly shifted, and then over the next 24 hours, got tons more registrations because I was in a different place. If you believed that you'd hit your goal, you would also not judge yourself or what you're doing. You'd have grace and compassion for yourself and thoughts like, this is all part of the process. Instead of feeling like you're doing a group project with yourself and you're not pulling your weight and you're feeling angry at yourself about it, you're going to know that you're on the right track, that this is working, and everything you do and everything you try is leading you there to 100K next year. Now, here's what's really interesting. The things that I've just listed are the things that you need to do differently in your business to hit your financial goals. You need to do those things right now. And to be able to fuel that, you need to be willing to believe that you can hit your goals. You need to intentionally spend more time thinking that you will than you spend time thinking that you won't or can't. Even when your brain tells you it's delusional, even when your brain tells you it's wishful thinking or a pipe dream or true for everyone else but not you. You've just experienced, listening to the beginning part of this episode, what it feels like to put those thoughts on, those thoughts of belief and inevitability and believing in your goal actually happening. Here's what happens when you're willing to suspend your disbelief and rebelliously keep choosing to believe. You feel better. You live in the feeling of clients are coming. I'm building my 6-figure business right now. You take action from that place. You get the help that you need. You make time, you show up, you're bold and brave, and you're consistent. You are instantly thinking, feeling, and acting like a new version of yourself. And that new you is the you who creates the 6-figure business. It's just how it works. I did it. You can too. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, mamatoceo.com.